Welcome to our panel. Today we're going to talk about underrated animated movies in honor of the Wild Robot doing so well at the box office. If y'all haven't heard about the movie, it is an animated film about a robot learning how to be a mother in the wild. And yeah, it's doing really good. It's a DreamWorks original, which I don't know about y'all, but I'm stoked about. Like, we haven't had an original IP in animation from one of these big studios in a really long time. So, with that being said, I guess we can go around the circle and have everyone introduce their underrated film. And also y'all's names, too.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sophie, and the underrated film I'm going to be talking about is Monsters vs. Aliens. So basically, it's this film about where this girl, it's her wedding day, and surprisingly, she gets hit by this radioactive meteor, and then that causes her to grow very large in size. And so she's basically kept in captivity with other monsters, and then they form this little group and go up against aliens to fight them off against the U.S. So they're there eventually to be the saviors for the world, which is kind of unexpected from beings you would call monsters.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily. I'm a big fan of anime, and I think that a lot of people who don't watch anime have a very hard time finding movies to kind of introduce themselves to it or just think it's weird. And I think that there's a lot of really great anime movies on Netflix, such as Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, which is one of my favorites. The animation style is super cute. The colors are super vibrant. It's like a very lighthearted rom-com about these two teens who kind of meet unexpectedly at a mall. One of them expresses like their feelings through haiku, and then the girl is very shy. And yeah, it's just a super cute movie. And I also, some other movies that I think everyone should watch are Your Name, and then Studio Ghibli movies that are more underrated, like Castle in the Sky, Whisper of the Heart. So good. Highly recommend.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Evan. I agree as well. I love anime as well. Like, Your Name was really good. I watched it last year. It was really good.
So good.
Yeah. I guess for me, my underrated movie I liked was it recently has gotten like a lot more praise. Is Over the Hedge. If people may not know what Over a Hedge is, the story goes as a fellow raccoon has to pay a debt to a fellow bear, and having to pay the debt would be through food. And so he stumbled upon a family that lives behind the backyard of a suburban home. And they go on a really fun adventure of actually trying to steal food as well as like trying to learn more about the family and learn about the community. I think that one is more interesting because I grew up watching that and like grew up watching a lot more DreamWorks and watching, and I saw a lot of praise within different other DreamWorks films such as Shrek, How You Train Your Dragons, but I never saw a lot more praise for Over the Hedge. So I guess that's my film.
My name is Willy, and I would say my underrated movie is going to make some people upset, but that's okay. It's going to be Cars 2, and it's just really simple. I mean, let's just put it on paper for half a second. You have racing, which is awesome, and you have spies, which are awesome. So, I mean, I feel like the math just checks out. You have double awesome, so it's a double awesome movie. And, yeah, I mean, I mentioned it. I'm taking RTF classes, so whenever I mention Cars 2, there's a lot of people that are like, what are you doing? But you know what? I think it's just underrated. I think if you just give it a chance and just kind of see the genius in it, it would do super well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, like, out of all the Cars movies, I remember Cars 2 the most.
I agree.
And so, like,
It worked.
something about that movie did work.
It did work.
And as far as I go, I'm Melody, by the way. I don't know if I said that. My favorite movie my favorite underrated animated movie, and also just one of my favorite movies ever, is The Prince of Egypt. It's a DreamWorks animated film, and it's before they switched to 3D. So there's just a beautiful blend of 2D and a tiny little bit of 3D animation in there. And it is a musical about the story of Moses. And I'm not Christian, but I love that movie so much. They just did not have to go so hard. And again, it's like one of the rare original IP, like just one of a kind movies that didn't get sequels. I mean, I don't know how you'd make sequels of the story of Moses anyway, but yeah. So we can go ahead and talk about what stood out to you about your movie and what drew you to that film.
So my film Monsters vs. Aliens, that was like one of my childhood movies. I would always watch it, mainly because it has like such a silly concept. I mean, like someone getting hit by a radioactive meteor is kind of crazy, and just the overall just animation of it. There's one character named Bob, and he's kind of like this Jello like character, and I always found him very like intriguing because he was like kind of like the comedic relief, and just his character design was very different to other animation I had seen before. Again, the storyline just with of the aliens themselves, and different scenes. Like there's this scene where they're attacking like the Golden Gate Bridge, and there's like this part where the girl gets like on these cars and is like trying to navigate herself down the bridge, and it was just, I don't know, that's one of the parts of the movie that stayed with me. And of course, like there's this really like silly scene of like the president trying to make peace with the aliens by playing a keyboard, and so I've seen that be like a very viral meme. But otherwise, those are like the main parts that stood out to me, and that's why I love mentioning it.
Nice. I think for me, I don't know if I was in the mood to start a new show, like an anime series, and so I was just scrolling on Netflix and finding thumbnails that looked really cute, and I saw words bubble up like soda pop, and I clicked on it, and I was like, okay, this looks nice, and I looked up the reviews, because I do that a lot. I always look at like the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, and it had a 100% review from Rotten Tomatoes, so I was like, I need to watch this, and then I watched it, and I loved it. It reminded me I really like the Studio Ghibli animation style, and this was a little bit more bright and eccentric, but it reminded me a lot of the Ghibli style in terms of how like the characters were animated and how their faces were shown, and just like that lighthearted vibe and good feel that a lot of Ghibli movies give you. And yeah, I loved it. Would totally recommend.
Yeah, for mine, for Overhead, just like growing up watching it, like I think it was more my comfort movie I watched. I think I really liked it because there was also really good like animation, like transitions, really funny. Like I constantly remember the scene where there was the bear like the moon transitioned to a potato chip, and like he took a bite of it and just like, ate the chip and then made a crescent, which that was a really scene that like I remember constantly. And as well as the scenes are more the learning of, well, it's like learning like being on your own doesn't mean like you're not alone, and more like you can find community within yourself and community within the people around you, even though it's a small time that you get to know them. But I think that's why I really love the movie.
I kind of already said it. It just makes sense. But I think since I kind of also grew up on it, I would say just the music was like super awesome. I don't know why, but I just like remember like the Finn McMissile theme. Then like his accent is like super awesome, and I think just all of it combined, just again, it was a genius movie idea. It just worked, and I just like it so much. Also, there's like so many references in there that me and my friends will still throw at each other. So that's why.
Yeah, when it comes to me, Princess of Egypt, it's just really the blend of style, I think, in animation. It's really subtle, but if you go, like, and watch the movie and see how it shifts from, like, when it's doing a musical number to when it's just, the movie, there's some cool style beats that they do there. And to end out our panel, is there a movie that y'all have not seen that's an underrated film that you, like, still need to see?
Ooh. Oh, I need to see The Boy and the Heron. I
Bro.
still haven't seen
Ooh.
it. I still haven't, and I'm waiting for the right time, but I like watching movies for the first time on a big screen. I feel like if I watched it on my laptop, it just wouldn't do it justice. So, yeah.
I need to watch The Wild Robot because I've heard. Like,
Same.
Same as well. Same as well. Yeah.
about it. I've heard like so much hype about it, like it's like the best thing since anything. So I need to like see it.
Yeah, definitely same as well. Like Wild Robot, that's one I need to see.
Wild Robot, yeah. One movie that I will say, like, I just saw recently and I really love, I love to mention, Look Back. It's an anime movie that I just saw, like, the other day. It's super cute. Just wanted to quick plug it.
I can actually think of two. They're also both anime movies: Perfect Blue and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. I haven't seen either of them.
I need to see Perfect Blue. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that about wraps up our panel. Is there anything about animated movies that y'all like to add before we close out our show?
Ooh. I would say they're not just for kids, and you should feel no shame or embarrassment watching any of them. They may be rated PG, but that's okay. Give yourself some lighthearted content once in a while.
I just watched the Lego Movie yesterday for a class, but I mean, it was still great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to close out our panel. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all in the next episode of Sneak Peek. Bye.
Bye.